Hey guys, welcome to my channel. It is Christian here, and today I'm going to be bringing you my monthly favorites. So today is September 1st. We're not even going to talk about how crazy that is, the fact that it is September 1st, that we are getting so close to holiday season, and I just cannot wait. But today we're going to talk about all the things that I loved in the month of August. I don't really have a whole lot of favorites, but I feel like I discovered some really good things this month. Before I get into my monthly favorites, I just wanted to say welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you are new to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below just to make sure that you do not miss any future upcoming videos. If you are not new to my channel, welcome back, you guys. Thank you for continuing to join me and support my channel. So yeah, guys, let's just go ahead and get into my monthly favorites. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about two concealers that I have been loving this month. First one is the Tarte Shape Tape, and I got it in the shade Light. Now, a lot of people are raving about this concealer for good reason. It is full coverage, it is easily blendable, it is pigmented, it hides everything that you could imagine. It's just an overall good concealer. A lot of times full coverage concealers can tend to be a little bit thicker and a little bit harder to blend, and they tend to cake up, especially underneath the eye. This one does not do that. Now, I don't test it. I always set my under eye concealer, but I feel like this one just dries so nicely and just kind of sets itself into place almost, to where I feel like if you did not want to set your concealer, you wouldn't have to. I just love the doe foot applicator. It's a really big doe foot applicator, and it really gets under the eye really nicely and really easily. I also feel as though it would be a really good spot concealer. You could use it for contouring, highlight. I feel like it's just a really good universal concealer to do so many different things with. Cream contour, cream highlight. I definitely want to pick it up in some different shades so I can play with it a little bit more and test it out. But this was definitely something that I did enjoy this month, and I did reach for a ton. Another concealer that I was really into this month was the Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer Cream. This is in the shade Whiteout. Obviously, this is way too light for me to actually be a concealer, but what I loved this for was lightening up any existing concealers that I already have. I even used this a couple of times with foundations that were too dark for me, and it just lightens it up, and it makes everything just a little bit more customizable. So that is what I personally use this for, and it has come in handy many times for me this month. Basically what I do is, because I don't want to like compromise the product actually in the tube. So I basically just put a little bit on the back of my hand, and then whatever other concealer or foundation that I'm going to be mixing into it, I just kind of make my own little concealer concoction on the back of my hand. It's just really good for that purpose. I can't really speak to the formulation on its own as far as how it would sit underneath the eyes. If you blend it out on the back of your hand, it is a little bit harder to blend out than, say, the Tarte concealer. The Tarte concealer just feels really smooth and really creamy. This one almost feels a little bit on the thicker side, and it's just not as blendable and easy to use. So I can't speak for how it works on its own, but as like a mixing medium, I have been loving this. And for foundation, my favorite foundation for the month of August was the Urban Decay All Nighter, and I have mine in the shade 2.0. I did an entire review and first impressions on this product that I will go ahead and link down below for you guys. I think it's all around a really good product. I think it's a really good foundation. I feel like it is full coverage, but in the best possible way. You guys know that I love full coverage foundations because I do have a lot to cover and I do have a lot to hide. As far as pigmentation, the redness in my skin, I do have some acne and some active breakouts. So I tend to only reach for full coverage foundations or medium to full coverage foundations. This one, to me, it's just beautiful on the skin. A lot of full coverage foundations tend to sit on top of the skin. They don't blend nicely into the skin. This one blends so effortlessly and so easily into the skin, and it is absolutely beautiful. I love it. For the most part, I have dry skin, but I have noticed that it's becoming a little bit more dry combination oily in my cheek area. This does not aggravate my dry patches whatsoever. It doesn't look oily once the oil starts to kind of peek through on my cheeks a little bit. I don't get oily like in my T-zone, on my nose, on my chin, anywhere else, but a little bit right here in my cheeks throughout the day, I will start to produce a little bit more oil. And this foundation, I feel like it just works. Now in the summer, in the winter time, when my skin, when there is not my skin is just like unbelievably dehydrated and dry, I'll be interested to see how this works. But for right now, I just think it is beautiful, you guys, on the skin. The only downside to this foundation, as far as I'm concerned, is that it does oxidize slightly. It's not like a huge drastic change to where some foundations will oxidize and have you looking like an Oompa Loompa. This one doesn't do that, but just be forewarned, it does oxidize a little bit on your face. So just keep that in mind. Sticking with face products, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about a setting powder that I loved this month. Now, when I first bought this, I did not like it at all. It is the Cover FX Illuminating Setting Powder in Light. And it comes in 3 shades. It comes in light, medium, and dark. Now, the reason I did not like this when I first bought it is because it does have illuminating properties to it. So it does kind of make your skin look awake. It does make it look alive. It does give it a nice, beautiful... If you have really, really dry skin, it makes it look a little bit more lively. It gives you just a really beautiful, soft, all over like glow. Now, the reason why I did not like it when I first got it is it wasn't this particular brush, but I used a more densely packed, fluffier all over face brush, and I just kind of dipped the brush into the powder and just kind of buffed it on the way I would use a normal translucent setting powder. Now, the issue with that is because there was so much product on the brush that when I went to apply it to my face, I just looked like one of the vampires from Twilight. I was sparkling all over the place and I did not appreciate it at all. But what I started doing was taking more of like a duo fiber brush and then just lightly, just very, very ever so lightly, just putting a little bit of the product into the cap and then just kind of slightly twirling it in, dusting it off, and then just doing it all over, like just doing it all over, quick, easy dusting. And worn like that, it actually looks really pretty on the skin. It's not shimmery. I mean, it can be shimmery if you apply too much, like to the point where it's just like you just put a highlighter all over your face, and that's not cute. But just where it just really, really lightly dusted on the skin, it's just a really, really nice setting powder. I would probably only recommend this for somebody with dry skin. It's not something that I think that if you had oily skin, I would recommend. It does have that soft glow to it. I don't know that an oily skin girl would love it, but a dry skin girl, I feel like, would actually benefit from this a lot because it would just bring a little bit more life back into dry skin, because dry skin tends to look dull. I think that this would help combat that a lot. So this was also a favorite of mine this month. Okay, so a couple of eyeshadows also from Anastasia that I have reached for a ton and that I have really, really been loving and that I have been just using pretty much every single day. But the shades that I used a ton and I just think are absolutely gorgeous is the shade Pink Champagne, and it's just so metallic and just so beautiful on the eye. It's a gorgeous shade. She has included this particular color in a couple of her limited edition eyeshadow palettes, and I know it's a favorite of everybody. It is just a gorgeous pinky all over lid shimmer gorgeousness, beautiful. It's like it gives you a really nice wet look on the eye. It does have a little bit of very, very, very fine glitter, but it doesn't, in my opinion, doesn't transfer onto the eye as like glitter. It's just gorgeous and beautiful, and I have been wearing it a ton this month. Another shade that I have been loving, the other 2 shades I have been loving this month are, let's pull them out, Morocco and Sienna. And I have been using these just as really beautiful, warm transition shades when I want to do a very warm, like smoky eye. I have been reaching for these 2 a ton. Morocco is just one of my favorite eyeshadows, like I feel like ever. Are very similar in tone. Sienna just is a little bit deep. Sienna is the bottom color. Sienna is the bottom color and Morocco is the top color. They're very similar in tone. Sienna to me just is a little bit darker and a little bit deeper. So I do have both of them on my eyes today. The perfect fall shades. Like, they are gorgeous. Anastasia has some of the most blendable pigmented eyeshadows like around. So I did reach for those a ton this month as well. I honestly use this whole little palette. These are my only 6 single Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadows, and I reached for this little palette a ton. Those 3 shades I was living for this month. Now, another palette that I have definitely talked about, I've mentioned on Snapchat, that I have talked about in another video that should have already been up, but it's taking me forever to edit it because it's a million years long and I'm trying to condense it down. But I basically talked about this palette and how much I actually do like it. This is the Smashbox Masterclass palette, the Lighting Theory. And and it is a little bit pricey. It does retail for 65 bucks, but you get so much with it. You get color correctors, you get liquid bronzers, highlighters, you get powder blushes, and eyeshadows. Now, I have mostly been using it for the face products. I have definitely used the eyeshadows this month, but I definitely use it more for the blushes and the color correcting and the highlighting shade in here. I have reached for this palette nearly every single day. I think that the color correctors are I think they're really, really pigmented. I think that they're easy to blend. I do sometimes, when my under eyes are feeling a little bit drier, just put a dab, like just a hint, like one little drop of oil, and then I mix it in, and then I use that to kind of help glide everything on and make sure that everything goes on a little bit more smoothly. But I only do that when my under eyes are very, very dry. On a day-to-day basis, I just go in with my Morphe E8. I just dap it in. I will use a mixture of these two shades here. I put those underneath my eye. From there, I apply the highlighting shade directly on top of it, blend everything together. I apply the green shade on all of my redness. You know I got a ton of redness. My favorite blush that I use is the Candlelight, or the Candlelight blush, which is the Candlelight blush right here, which is this guy right here. It is easily blendable. I just like this palette, you guys. I think it is expensive, but I think you get so much bang for your buck. And I definitely, in my opinion, think that it is worth checking out. If you kind of need like an all-in-one palette, if you're interested in color correcting, it's definitely got everything you need. If you're wanting to practice with cream contour, it's got you covered. And then it also has a good variety of eyeshadows, you guys. You can create, it's more neutral with a couple of pops of color, like the purple and the blue, but it will also create mostly really, really beautiful neutral eyeshadow looks. I do think that they are blendable eyeshadows. I did not have any issues applying them, using them, wearing them. So I like this palette a lot, you guys. Favorite lip color for the month is the NARS Get Dirty lip cover. They came out with 3 shades, and I just love this shade. It is right up my alley. It is the perfect mauve toned lip color. Now, it is not a liquid lipstick. It is just a really pretty long wearing, I would say it's almost like a lipstick lip gloss, almost like hybrid. It sits really beautifully on the skin. It just it is still long wearing though. They do not feather, they do not bleed. It just feels really, really nice on the skin. If you are interested in liquid lipstick, that is not what this is, even though when I originally bought it, that's what I thought it was, but that's not what it is. It is a limited edition summer release, and the colors, all 3 colors of this are just really, 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 really beautiful. This one is more of like almost like a My Lips but better shade. It is just gorgeous. I have worn this pretty much, I want to say maybe the last 2 videos that I've done. This is the lip color that I've been wearing. On my Snapchat, this is the lip color I've been wearing. I tend to wear like the same lip color. Like I find a new lip color that I wear, and then I wear it the entire month. So this is the color that I have been wearing a ton. I think it is beautiful. I think that they look really nice on the lips. They just give you like a really plump, pouty almost look. It's a nice soft sheen. And again, they are long wearing, and they do wear off really, really, really nicely, evenly. So this is my lip color of choice, lip color and lip formula of choice. Another palette that I really enjoyed this month that I am also kind of surprised by is the Estee Lauder Bronze Goddess Summer Glow Multi Palette. Now, when I first got this, I was not impressed by it, so I never reached for it. I think I used it once when I first got it, and then I was like, I don't really like it. It comes with a bronzer, a highlighter, and a blush, and it was kind of expensive, especially for this size, I'm not gonna lie, and that kind of made me a little sad as well. But I've been reaching for this a ton, especially on days. The reason why I did not like it when I first got it, I was like, because it is so expensive, and where is the pigmentation? But on days, I decided again, I was going through my collection and pulling out stuff that I had not been using, and I decided to go ahead and give this another shot. Now, I have been wearing this on days when I just want a really soft, easy, beautiful, more natural makeup look. Nothing about my makeup is natural, but you guys know what I mean. So it's just, the highlighter is absolutely stunning, and it just kind of melts into the skin. It just kind of melts easily into the skin. And it's just very soft. The same thing with the bronzer. It's very soft, just natural, just like, I want to say just like girly shades. Like, you're not going to get that Instagram look with it, this palette, in my opinion. This basically for like every day. I don't use it like on camera because I feel like I need a little bit more, like, I need a little bit more oomph on camera. But at work, when I want to wake up and I want to do the whole bronzing thing, which is pretty much every day, but I just want it to be quick and easy, and I don't want to have to spend a lot of time messing or worrying about making sure my contour looks right or making sure that everything just looks seamless, and I don't want to bake things and I don't want to blend things, and I just want to do something soft and simple and easy. I reached for this palette a ton. The thing is that you guys got to keep in mind is, especially with like bronzers and highlighters, it's very easy to get carried away, to go from nicely bronzed to very, very muddy. Sometimes less pigmented products, we have it in our heads that it has to have just all the pigment in the world, like, oh my god, it's not pigmented enough. But that's not a bad thing, because sometimes when things are overly pigmented, it makes if you dip your brush in a little too much and apply straight to your face, then you've ruined your entire makeup look. So sometimes it's nice to have products that are a little less pigmented but are still blendable, are still easy buildable, and will still give you that gorgeous all over glow and bronze and just flush of color. And that's what this has been for me this month. So I actually have liked it a lot. And then my last favorite of the month is the Surreal Skin Argan Finishing Balm by Josie Moran. This claims to be a multi-purpose product. It can be like used for skincare. It says that it can be used as a primer, or it can actually be used over top of your makeup as a finishing balm. I've never tried it over top of my makeup. I use it more of like as a moisturizer slash primer. And basically what I do is I take a very, very, very small amount, and this is what it looks like, a little UFO. I don't like the only thing I don't like about it is I feel like there's not enough product in here for the price, but that's always my complaint about everything. Basically what I do is I just take a little bit in between my fingers, and then I kind of warm it up. It does feel very balmy, which, I mean, it's a balm. So I just kind of warm it up in between my fingers, and then I kind of just press it into my skin. And it does just feel very soothing, and it does feel very, very hydrating. And then I just kind of work it into my skin. I let it sink in for a few minutes. We go in with 2 primers. But when I use this, I use this, and then I go in with my my pore refining primer. And then it just feels really soothing. It feels really hydrating. It gives you a really soft, and I mean really, really soft, like glow to your skin. Just makes you look healthy, and I'm all for that. Things that are going to give you a glow, things that are going to like help get rid of like dullness of your skin, because my skin can look really, really dull and really, really dry. So I'm always interested in things that say hydrating or glow. I'm here for, you know what I mean? Like I like it because I want my skin to just look a little bit more refreshed and a little bit more awake and a little bit more hydrated and a little bit more luminous, especially before I go in with my foundations, especially the fact that I use a lot of full coverage foundations. Full coverage foundations can make you look very flat. So the primers that you use, the moisturizers that you use are very, 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 very important. So yeah, guys, those are my monthly favorites for the month of August. I really hope that you did enjoy them. I hope that you might have gotten maybe 1 or 2 recommendations, or if you've tried out some of these products, let me know what you guys think about them. What were some of your favorites in the month of August? So yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Before I head out, I'm going to go ahead and ask that you do 3 things. The first one being going ahead and giving this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. The second one being going ahead and leaving a comment down below, letting me know what you'd like to see next, letting me know what your August favorites were. And the third thing was, if you are not subscribed to my channel, you guys, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. I do post 2 videos a week, every Sunday and every Thursday, and subscribing to my channel just ensures that you do not miss any future upcoming videos. All right, guys, until I see you next time, you guys be safe out there. Bye.